Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Let's go to the Washington Post. They have a article, Minorities and Americans Without College Degrees Show the Greatest Gains in Wealth Since 2013. Now, this of course is a result of the fact that you've had such an oversaturation of people getting their four-year degrees and trying to enter an overly saturated job market in the where the administrative and the white collar arena, that it's left a severe shortage of jobs in trades. And as a result, the salaries for trades have just skyrocketed. Here in the state of Massachusetts, for example, if you want to be a mechanic, the average age of a mechanic in the state of Massachusetts, 58 years old. 58 years old. And why is that? Because more people have been pushed away, or their parents have encouraged them to go to a four-year university saying, well, if you want to be successful, well, then you have to have that piece of paper. That's just not the truth anymore. Fact of the matter is again, the market's so oversaturated with people that it has caused, supply and demand. Supply's high, so the salaries are going to be lower. Entry-level engineers coming out of school now, 45 grand a year, maybe. How are you supposed to pay for all those student loans when you're only making that? How can you expect to live independently when you're not making enough to even keep up with your basic expenses? This is what we face today. However, you take your son or your daughter and get them into a trade. Now, all of a sudden, their earning potential just went up. Not to mention the fact that trades often encourage entrepreneurialism and the fact that you can actually, be your own boss, which if you're trying to break out of that whole slave mentality, look, it ain't about black and white or tan or brown or yellow. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do at this point, because we're all slaves. Let's be real. I mean, we're all lumped into the same category, and we can buy into these psyops and these media campaigns that try to divide and conquer based on race, based on income inequality. It doesn't matter what it is. But the fact of the matter is, when the civil rights movement of the 60s came about and changes were made, it didn't free the minorities, quote unquote. It actually enslaved everybody else along with them. So now we're all in with this one big group. We're slaves to the powers that shouldn't be. And the way that they control is a simple concept. It's one that they've used for a long time. Out of chaos, order. They create the chaos, and they bring about the means and the modes necessary to bring about order, to rein in the chaos, right? Because they're here for our help. They know it's best for us. It says here, Americans who were left behind as the country pulled out of the Great Recessions, African Americans, Hispanic, and people without college degree, saw large gains in net worth over the past 3 years, according to the Federal Reserve. But the improvements failed to narrow the inequality gap. Yeah, obviously. It says that America's income held by the top 1% of households reached 24% in 2016. And the median net worth of this is the craziness of it all, is that they give you one sentence as to what the real problem is, that the majority of the wealth is concentrated up at the top. And then all the rest of us get to fight over the scraps, right? That's exactly what's going on. This is a result of nothing more than decades and decades of social engineering. That's what's going on. That's why you have all these racial movements afoot and all this kind of stuff. It's all about social engineers just picking and choosing, like your George Soroses, picking and choosing what they want to do, what they want to inflame, who they want to offend, what they want. It doesn't matter. It's all done by these control freaks. Rent-a-crowds. Oh, man, we need some violence over here in Charlotte. Well, let's get a crowd down there. I mean, this is what they do. We can't buy into that. But what you can buy into is go to tech school. If you want to learn a trade or, apprentice under somebody. Apprenticeships is something that have been totally kind of swept off to the side now. But that's the way people used to learn prior to tech schools and everything else popping up was, you know what? You apprentice under a mechanic that's been doing it for a while. He or she lends the expertise, shares it with you. You do it at a reduced wage to help them. They impart their knowledge to give you a valuable tool to generate income for yourself. Next thing you know, you're your own boss. They don't want you to do that. So what do? They basically ingrain it in people's heads when you're in the indoctrination centers that to be successful, you must go to a 4-year university. You must get that degree. But in doing so, they instantaneously set you back big time because now you're a slave to the system because you owe all this money. And so they've instantly got you under their thumb. Don't fall prey to that. Don't fall prey to that. You don't necessarily need a degree. You don't even necessarily need a certificate. What you do need to do is partner up with somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody that knows these trades, that you can apprentice under, that you can learn with, gain valuable job experience, and then break out on your own. Do your own thing. And that, my friends, is how you are successful. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. None of that matters. It's all about you and your drive to be successful. And as long as you have that drive and that motivation to do it, you'll be successful, especially if you enjoy what you do. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.